Welcome to Out of the Office. I'm your host, Kaylin Spickler, bringing you ideas for your next Out of the Office adventure.
You've got to get that bird's eye view of the valley.
Off the couch and away from video games.
If there was one event I would keep inventing, this is the baby.
Got a few things in store.
Every month, we sit down with business owners, regional experts, and everyday people to talk about all there is to offer in the Roanoke region.
That's the thing, right? Like, there's always so much fun stuff to cover on a podcast.
My favorite day.
They're having a blast.
We are loving it.
Good morning. We are so happy to have the newly elected chair and vice chair of the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors, Mr. Phil North and Miss Martha Hooker. Thank you both for being here.
Our pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
You both are very involved in our community and hear from citizens regularly, so many of our listeners have probably had the privilege of talking with or getting to know you in some capacity. But for those listening who you haven't yet met, can you go ahead and introduce yourselves a little bit?
Okay, I'm Phil North, and I've lived here in the Roanoke Valley for over 40 years. And I've worked here for Norfolk Southern for 39 years. I retired and married Bonnie and met my wife here in Roanoke, and we've been married for 35 years. We have two sons that grew up here, and we have a daughter-in-law and a grandson, Lane, who's just over 1 year old. So we've enjoyed this area, and it is a great place to live, work, and play.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm Martha Hooker, and I have also lived here about 40 years, and Brian and I got married, moved here, and this has been an immediate fit for me. It's been my home, and we have 2 adult children, 5 precious grandbabies. I am a retired teacher, had a wonderful career in education, and have spent the last 8 years on the Board of Supervisors representing the Catawba District.
Yes. So, like you both mentioned in your introductions, you're very involved in the community. So, I would love if you could each share what has been the favorite project for each of you that you've worked on, whether on the Board of Supervisors or just in another aspect of your career.
Well, I've worked on a lot of projects for the board, but before getting on the board, I used to coach youth sports and my boys in basketball and soccer, but mostly baseball. And so I've enjoyed that. And that's how you get to know a lot of the people in the community too.
Absolutely.
When your children interact with each other. But here on the board, I've worked on a number of projects. One that I really had a passion for is the Bonsack Fire Station, which is under construction, should be completed later this year. That's going to improve response time 20% in the Orchards area of Bonsack and Roanoke County. I've also worked closely with staff on the Highlands Library project. And so that's in its design stage, and that won't happen probably before 2026 if the board approves it.
Okay.
I also work on the legislative agenda. As I told you, I just got back from Richmond. So I really enjoy that, advocating for the county with the representatives from this area down there.
Yes.
And I'm also involved heavily in transportation, on the Transportation Planning Organization. And so I kind of took my passion from my career at Norfolk Southern and put it to use on improving the roadways and pathways and trails in this area.
Yeah, that's a very nice transition from your career and then now at the Board of Supervisors, being able to combine those passions. Going back to coaching, I had no idea about that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people probably would say that, but yeah, I enjoyed coaching in baseball particularly, but soccer as well.
Okay.
And then when the boys get into the junior high school years, they decide they have to choose one sport, and they chose baseball.
Okay.
So I really do enjoy baseball.
So what position did you play when I'm assuming you played?
I played outfielder and pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah, but not very long as a pitcher.
Okay. I was going to say, we'll have to...
My sons were better than I was.
Maybe we'll have to have a Roanoke County little softball league.
That would be awesome.
That would be fun.
That would be awesome.
Miss Hooker, what about you?
So for me, the things that have really been exciting, passionate for me personally, as I loved my career in education, I think just that's very organic in getting to know the community and having students come full circle and live here and work here. And and talk to me about some of the issues. I knew them originally as children, and now they're adults and they're working here, and that really is a special thing. I would say though that just our work on the board, it is hard to beat when new businesses come to Roanoke County or there are business expansions. That is pretty exciting. People are choosing to come here, and we've had an incredible year in the last 12 months with some really great announcements and things that have been happening. So there's a lot to be excited about for Roanoke County. For me personally, in my district, I'm just so pleased with our progress with broadband expansion.
Absolutely.
And
that's a
so
big
for
one.
us and for some of the more remote county areas, it's just been so important to get that expansion in place so that people can work from home, so students can do their homework.
Right.
And it's just a real necessity, in my opinion. I'm very appreciative of the support that I've had from other board members in continuing that desire to expand and get all of those residents covered with broadband.
Yes, that's been a big initiative over the last
has.
couple years.
And
That's
it's been
really
very
great.
exciting. We've been very successful. There's still work to do.
Yes, absolutely. And going back to what you started with, I know even just sitting in a couple meetings or just being out at events with you, you've met, or I guess re-met, former students, and you've been able to
Absolutely.
see them outside of the classroom many years later, which is so exciting.
It is. I really feel like it's an opportunity to come full circle in getting to know the community. You
Yes.
see them when they're young, and then you are almost reintroduced to them as adults. And there's just so many good people in this community, and it's really fun to see that.
Yeah, we're very blessed with that. We have a
We
great
are.
community.
Absolutely.
So, going right into that, you both have raised families in this community. What makes this such a special place to raise a family?
Sure. It's easy for me living in the Catawba district. It's the beauty. It's the beauty of the community. Our logo is indicative of McAfee's Knob, which is in the Catawba district, and it's the most photographed spot on all the Appalachian Trail from Maine to Georgia, so it's pretty significant. It is the beauty of the community, but then when you couple that with a good cost of living rate, with comparing to other communities, how that you can come here, make a living, and still have some room economically to do other things, exciting things, and enjoy the great outdoors is really what makes it special, in my opinion. And I think Roanoke County has really captured that. They get it. They know that that's what is special about us, and businesses now see that too.
Yes, which is great. And I know, Mr. North, you'll answer that question as well, but you even said it's a great place to live, work, play.
Yeah, it is. And one of the things that stuck out in our mind when we moved back here, of course, we went away for 3 years to Knoxville, was, let's locate somewhere that has good schools. And so we did. And the Bonsack Elementary School was built, and that's where our boys went K through 12, starting out there all the way through high school. And so the schools in Roanoke County are renowned for being excellent.
Yes.
And we like advocating and supporting, excuse me, and supporting our school board and all the families who have students in the schools. But the outdoor amenities, as Martha said, are really the trademark of the Roanoke County and the Roanoke Valley, for that matter.
Yes.
So
I agree. When I first started here, I was not an outdoorsy person. I'm an outdoorsy person, but I'm not a naturey person. And so going over to Explore Park my first couple weeks and camping, and then going over to Camp Roanoke and doing some of the activities there, it's really opened my eyes to a different set of outdoorsy that I think I have learned to like. Okay, so we have talked about some of the great things of Roanoke County. And so what are some of the ways you've seen Roanoke County change over the last 10 years, 15 years, what have you?
I think a lot of the roads and transportation projects have helped develop into economic drivers and new business. For example, the Tanglewood Mall area is being transformed. I can remember years ago how it existed. Now look at it today. It's developed with a lot of commercial businesses and eateries locating around there, and Carillion Clinic moving over there is just huge.
Yes.
A huge economic driver, and we appreciate that their presence. We're also going to be working on some other corridors around the county. The Holland study plan, the Catawba's had a plan. We've got a 460 study going on. So all these studies, they don't sound glamorous, but out of them come a vision for the future. And so that's very important.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So I would like to say, to add on to that, that with the attraction of new business and new excitement economically, that we're attracting a younger set of people. That people are now seeing from other communities where maybe the cost of living isn't quite as ideal. And if they have the opportunity, especially to work from home, they can come here and they can live. So we're attracting this new set of younger families, and we're really excited about that. I think that is really an added bonus. And just the idea that with our expansion in economy, that now young people see that they don't have to leave to find a job that is sustaining for their future. They can stay here and work, and we're really excited to continue to foster that new outlook for Roanoke County.
Yes. Well, even Chili's. I know that I was in college when that was announced over at Roanoke College, and that was something people on campus were talking about how excited they were for a Chili's. So that was probably not exactly the first example you were thinking of in saying that, but it's definitely
indicative.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So those things are very exciting happening in the county, and we had a lot of exciting things happening in the county in 2023 in particular. So Ms. Hooker, as chairman of the board during that time, can you touch on some of the successes we celebrated throughout the past year?
It was such a great year,
Yes.
and we're still in the afterglow of all the excitement. So I am happy to share some of the highlights, in my opinion, of what's been going on. So with the Wells Fargo announcement for an $87 million investment, 1,100 new jobs, that is just outstanding. It was historic for Roanoke County. And we're hoping to build on that with some other new announcements coming forward. Some of the other announcements that I think have really been noteworthy when Carillion came to Tanglewood Mall with their mental health. And the number of visitors to the Tanglewood Mall area, to emphasize what you were saying earlier, with just that added traffic, those added visitors coming to those new restaurants, those new businesses for our downtown per se, is really been great news for Roanoke County, and we're very excited about that. Some other things, the Galen College of Nursing, where their investment is substantial, but just the addition of 100 new nursing students, with the hope of that growing. It's my understanding up to 400 new nursing students. That's substantial, and that will really help our local economy and healthcare in our community. Woodhaven had a substantial increase with their utilities in the amount of $820,000. We got some really great help from our federal representatives, and we're just so appreciative for that. We also had new restaurants, which we have indicated before. We had Chili's, Popeyes, Chop House, new businesses, Skechers, just from the retail level, and all of that has been very exciting and adding to our local economy. And then, as Mr. North mentioned earlier, to just transportation, over $320 million in transportation initiatives is just unheard of for this area. A lot of excitement, a lot of growth, and things to build on for our future.
Yes, absolutely. And Mr. North, I don't know if you want to add anything before we get to what 2024 has in store for us.
Well, we can't, reveal some of the plans for 2024 because they're confidential at the moment, but we should have some good announcements in the future. The Highlands District is a commercial corridor for business corridor, for the Roanoke area, and we were pleased to get that expansion up there. And that is going to be a driver for economic development because people are going to need more restaurants to go to.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get a Chick-fil-A up there or something, who knows. But Vistar located this past year over there, and that was a great project, $6 million.
Yeah.
Quite the eye center that we toured.
Very nice facility.
Yes, but the $300 million transportation thing, let me just elaborate on that. I would dare say less than 10% of that was Roanoke County money.
Wow.
The rest of it was state and federal money. And so that's the key is to have folks in positions that can advocate and vote for applications where we get state and federal dollars back here to use in our community. And so you get more done with other people's money, as I like to say.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, this morning in the newspaper, I was reading about Delegate McNamara and Delegate Rasool, bipartisan effort to advocate for getting more federal money for power and solar projects in the area. So a great initiative. You know, there's money for different things and grants. You just have to mine for it, and when you find it, you got to apply for it, and you'll get some without using taxpayers' money.
Yes. Well, and everyone appreciates that then. So another thing that we celebrated a lot of in 2023 were state championships. We got to celebrate a lot of those at board meetings, and I know we had the opportunity to celebrate Hidden Valley recently. But Ms. Hooker, you celebrated a number of Catawba District state championships.
I'm so proud of our student athletes in Roanoke County, and they continue to amaze me. And Glenvar has had just a very good couple of years, and I had to go back and, reference check what they actually won and just in the last year. And in the last year, they were volleyball state champions. They're boys state champions in outdoor and indoor track. We had boys soccer, tennis. They both won, state championships. So it's just been a stellar year. Northside boys basketball, state champions. So our student athletes in Roanoke County schools have just been phenomenal, and we're really proud of them.
Yes, yeah. And Mr. North, as a former youth coach, I'm sure you got to enjoy all of the sporting events happening throughout the county as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. And of one note is William Byrd had a great football program this year.
Yes.
And, Coach Lutz was also recognized and is in competition, I think, for national recognition of Coach of the Year among the NFL teams that sponsor high school coaches.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that progresses. But he turned that program around in football the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And they got better each year. So a nice result for William Byrd winning the district this year. And of course, Northside basketball's been very popular. I don't have a high school in my district, but my citizens I represent go to Northside or William Byrd, so I share in both successes for that area.
A number of the successes mentioned throughout the last year are carrying over into the new year, and so what are some things we can look forward to down the road? Mr. North, why don't you start us off as the new chairman?
Well, I mentioned the Bonsec Fire Station will be complete and opened up probably by January of next year once we get it staffed. The new CTE school in the Hollins area should begin. They're in the planning stages, finalizing those, so we'll be going to the state to borrow the money in our bonds. Renovating 2 elementary schools, one in the Catawba district and one in the Benton district are going to unfold in the future. I-81 improvements, they're going to be going on for a long, long time in this area, but they're going to help the fluid movement of traffic and improve safety, but it's going to be challenging while they're under construction. So that's always something in motion. 419-220 diverging project is another transportation project that's going to happen within the next year as they start the engineering and planning. That's also supposed to result in a diverging diamond that you might have seen at Valley View Mall area, but also you see at Virginia Tech. It's new technology in transportation that's going to help that area and keep traffic moving better than what it does today, but the construction is going to be something we have to be patient with. And then also working on the FY25 budget, because it's budget season. January, everywhere you go, it's budget season until about May, into May, when we approve the budget. And so we're going to be also updating our strategic plan this year, see what we've done, what we haven't done, and what we want to add to the plan going forward, because that keeps us on focus in the Roanoke County vision and our goals.
Yes. Good to keep us on track.
It does. Yes.
Ms. Hooker, is there anything you're looking forward to in 2024?
The budget process is laborious and not really very exciting to the typical citizen, but at the same time, it is critical for our path forward. And we have a board that is very conservative fiscally, and I'll be looking for ways that we can tighten our belts and how we can make sure that Roanoke County continues to be livable, and with that low cost of living ideology. So we're going to push forward with that.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so we are now at the fun part of the episode where we play our 2 games. So our first game is Roanoke Rapid, and that will be for you, Mr. North, which is very similar to Fast Money, A Family Feud. And then Miss Hooker, you will have our next level adventure. And so every episode we talk about something that's maybe a pretty common thing for tourists to do or for citizens to do, and just how to level it up. So we'll start first with Roanoke Rapid with Mr. North. And so your first word is, pick a word for 2024.
Proactive.
Okay, all right. Second one is favorite local spot. And this can be Roanoke County or the Roanoke region.
Well, it better be in Roanoke County. Hollywoods.
All right, they have good dessert.
Yes.
Okay. Third word, accomplishments.
Transportation.
That's a good one. Fourth word, phrase, Roanoke County.
The resilient pursuit of perfection.
There you
Wow,
go. That's
that
good.
is a good one to end on. I think you aced that.
Good.
I like A's.
All right, so Miss Hooker, your next level adventure is, now that it's January, people are wanting to spend some time inside. And so how can we level up just a cozy day in the Roanoke area?
It's so funny that you mentioned this, Kaylin, because I've been thinking lately about what can I do that's fun with my grandkids and my kids when they come into town. And so I'd kind of been thinking about some of these things, and it really got me digging deeper about what are the really fun things that aren't too expensive to do, and what could we do that is maybe outside or in a building if it's not a great day. The last few days have been pretty brutal, and not necessarily wanting to hike or do some of those things that you necessarily think of for our community. So I started brainstorming, and the Green Ridge Rec Center has so much to offer, and there's indoor water play for children in particular. There's activities there all day long for any adult, any child, but also opportunities to play pickleball or the water play. All of those things are available right there at Green Ridge Rec Center. So that's really a gem. Being supportive of the schools and the sports that are going on right now, high school sporting events such as basketball and wrestling, and how exciting they are to go out and to support the community and the student athletes that are participating is so important, and indoor and warm.
Yes.
And then on that same note, rec league sports, are also taking, their time now, and there's children that are involved in those things. So that's always fun to rally around our kids when they're getting to know other kids and watching them play sports and just have fun and be together. And then we have our libraries. Our libraries are phenomenal in Roanoke County, and they offer so many activities and crafts on a weekly basis. I know in our reports, it's always amazing to see all the themes that they have going on and the real attraction for those community centers, if you will, for what's going on in Roanoke County. So there's another indoor activity that would be cozy and warm.
Yes.
We have so many new restaurants, new shops that are in our community, and we never want to neglect those, but always going out and getting a good meal locally is a fun thing. Especially for my end of the county, we go frequently to Virginia Tech basketball games and wrestling, and we love doing that, love supporting our Hokies and seeing what's going on there. The Rail Yard Dogs is an obvious choice. We all love going and watching hockey locally, and there's such a great support group for them. And then, of course, the ice skating in Vinton is always great to go to. There's a lot to do, and I think the more you get out and do one or two of these things, the more you hear about other opportunities to go and do other things. It really is a vibrant locality for families, for all kinds of activities. Outdoors is more amenable when the weather's better, but still there's so much going on even in these colder months for things that we can participate in and support our students, support the families. So great place.
Well, I really appreciate you both being here. I know it was great for me to learn more about each of you, but I'm sure it was really great for our listeners to also get to hear from both of you. And so I really appreciate you being here and for your leadership. I know it's a very big asset to the county.
We appreciate you, Kaylin. Thank you for everything that you've done. And RVTV is spectacular, so we've got a great team in place. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you. It wouldn't be an episode of Out of the Office without Alex North joining us from Parks, Recreation, and Tourism. And this time, we also have a special guest with us, Devon Burnette from Parks, Recreation, and Tourism as well.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the both of you. So we have a lot in store. February is a very busy month. We have a lot of Valentine's fun. Alex, can you talk about some of the Valentine's activities we have going on?
Yeah, so of course February is big for our Valentine's themed programs for our Rec Life brochure, which we're almost done with winter. So as we wrap up the winter session in February, we have DIY paper Valentine's edition at Brambleton Recreation Center. That's coming up at the end of January as we prep for Valentine's, where you can pulverize, press, and pat dry some different sheets of recycled paper and make some cool artwork. Then we also have Valentine's Date Night In, which is going to be a popular event at Brambleton Recreation Center. That's the week before Valentine's on Tuesday, February 6th, where, if you want to avoid some of the crowds maybe at Valentine's, or if you want to be really prepared, as all guys should be, speaking as, a married man, be prepared and, surprise your significant other with a date night in at Brambleton Recreation Center, because we're going to be having a fun night with some appetizers where you'll make your own appetizer, some mocktails, a main dish, and dessert, all we're sharing. So it's going to be a great time at Brambleton Recreation Center, and that's on Tuesday, February 6th from 6 to 8. Then we also have, for the kiddos, we have our Valentine's Party Zone event, which is coming up at Green Ridge Recreation Center for ages 5 to 11. It's pretty much a night out for the kids to come to Green Ridge Recreation Center, enjoy a great time of Valentine's themed crafts, different play games, gym time, and they'll have a pizza party. And what party zone wouldn't be great without a time in the indoor pool? So the kiddos will be able to go down the giant slide, splash in our spray ground, and have a great time on our Valentine's Party Zone night. And then finally, we have a really cool program coming up. It's actually a day program when the kids are out of school on February 12th, and that is snow tubing at Winter Place. So kiddos will be dropped off at Brambleton Recreation Center in the morning, 9 o'clock, and then we'll transport them to about 2 hours away to Winter Place in West Virginia for a day full of snow tubing, and then they'll be dropped off back at Brambleton Recreation Center around 6:30. So got a lot of cool programs coming up for all ages coming up in February.
Yes, and whether or not love is in the air, fun is in the air.
Exactly. That's a great point. Anything that folks need to register for online can be found at RoanokeCountyParks.com or on our social media pages on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Well, I did get to meet with Amy last week and got a little bit of the behind the scenes of everything she is preparing for the date night in, and she has everyone set, so I highly recommend.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a great time, and that's one of our newer programs that we're trying out, and hopefully we can do this for some other holidays coming up and throughout the year and kind of make it a series.
Yes, oh my gosh, maybe one for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay, well, we also do have another very big event coming up.
Yeah, so it is the 38th annual Valentine's Dinner Dance hosted by Therapeutic Recreation Services of the Roanoke Valley, and that's why we have Devon here today. She's our TRS supervisor for Parks and Rec in Roanoke County, and her staff has been preparing, really for the biggest event of the year that's become an annual tradition for TRS.
Yes. Devon, let's hear all about it.
Yeah, so this is definitely my favorite event that I get to be a part of, working within Therapeutic Recreation Services. So it is a dance that's held at the Hotel Roanoke on February 12th. It will be 5:30 to 9 p.m. Doors open at 5:30. Dinner is served at 6. Following that, we crown the King and Queen of Hearts and then open up the dance floor. And let me tell you, people dress to impress and they bring their best dance moves. So this event is specifically for individuals with disabilities and their caregivers. So we're excited to offer the community this opportunity to come out. In addition, there's a lot of other fun things that happen. We give outdoor prizes. There is a fabulous photo booth. And then everyone gets to take home a favor as well. Truly a magical night.
It is. I was there last year, and it was my favorite event as well. And it was just so cool to be there and see the smiles on everyone's faces and just see everyone have so much fun.
Oh yeah, the room is filled with joy. Like it's so amazing. It's fun to be a part of, and it's an honor to be part of making it happen. So, we're really excited for it. We do still have tickets available. Okay. So if anyone is looking to come out with an individual with a disability and their family, we have tickets available. And that will be the case until we fill. We're hoping to reach up to 250 people there. Yeah. So if we fill early, that might happen. Otherwise, our registration date will stay open until February 8th.
Awesome. Okay.
Yep. Tickets are $33 with meal, and that includes all the fun and a 3-course dinner provided by Hotel Roanoke that is absolutely delicious, if I do say so myself. And then if, people want to come out and don't want to do a meal, that's okay. We can also sell a ticket for $7 for entry.
Okay, awesome. That's nice to have various different options, especially with different schedules and things like that.
Yeah.
What has been the community response to this event for both of you?
I feel like it's received really well. It is a highlight for many, and I'm not just saying that. I get that feedback annually throughout the year. People are calling early to want to know when the tickets are going to go on sale. We have people returning to this dance year after year for many years. It has occurred for 38 years. And I have one individual that I know that has attended for probably nearly 20 of those years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super amazing, and I do feel that it has a very positive impact on the community. It's just a special opportunity that's unique to the Valley, and there's a lot of good feedback that we get from it. It's truly it's so much fun.
And the thing that I think is really cool is it started back in, I think, the mid 80s, because it started with about 20 to 30 individuals who weren't invited to their prom, so they really started their own kind of second prom. And it's really cool to see how it's grown over the years. And I mean, to make it 38 years for any event's pretty amazing, and for to grow and be very popular to have over 200 folks every year. It's really a great time, for us to celebrate with our community members with disabilities. And the thing is, our Therapeutic Recreation Services Department does so much for individuals really in the Roanoke Valley and the region, between the TRS Valentine's Dinner Dance, between all of our programs that we offer seasonally and our summer camps. Devon and her team do a great job of serving those members of the community and really making them feel a part of, everyday life, whether it is with a recreation program. They visit our recreation centers and some of our parks, and, a lot of the staff really love it when TRS comes, because that's one of the most enjoyable times of their day. So Devon and her staff have done a great job, and we're looking forward to the Valentine's dance this year.
I do want to jump in too and give credit where credit's due. The events and programs that we're able to put on is actually through a partnership with Roanoke City and the city of Salem as well. So without their contributions, we really wouldn't be able to reach the greater area of the Roanoke Valley as we do. So, props to that. And additionally, Hotel Roanoke, we have a really good partnership with them as well. To be able to put on this event at Hotel Roanoke, the star of the Valley, it's awesome in itself. Just to walk in and be in the big ballroom, with the table set perfectly and all the lights and bells and whistles. It's awesome.
Well, yeah, because that's even an opportunity that not just anybody in the Roanoke Valley just gets to do. Yeah. That's really, if you get invited to a wedding or you have a wedding or some other fancy event, it's not just an everyday thing.
Yeah, we get to roll out the red carpet
yes.
for the folks that attend and it makes it awesome.
It really does. I am looking forward to the event, and I know the participants have been busy practicing. I got to practice with you all. They are practicing their dance moves, and they're ready.
Yes, we have a class called Just Dance where we're learning some of the trendy line dance style dances. And, this is the 3rd year that we've done that program, and it is, if I do say so myself, a roaring success. We have the gym filled with individuals coming out to brush up on their dance moves, and then we do actually work with the DJ to play those songs so that we can kind of show it off on the dance floor.
Oh, that's so fun. You guys really have thought of everything. I'm continuously amazed, not just with TRS, but Parks and Rec overall. So great job to all of you that have a hand in the programs and activities.
Yeah, thanks so much. If anyone's interested in getting involved, we're talking about the dance, and Alex touched on the population and how we serve the community, but the dance is a big staple for us, but we do programming year-round for adults with disabilities in different areas, including cultural arts, life skills, wellness and fitness, and outdoors and trips. So if anyone out there is looking to get an individual involved that does have a disability, I hope they reach out, because I'm sure we have something for them.
Yes, I agree. Well, that is awesome. Alex, what else do we have in store for the spring?
Yeah, so Spring Rec Life comes out, and it'll be hitting mailboxes, and registration will be open on Monday, February 19th. So it's literally almost right around the corner. It's hard to believe we're almost into spring and looking into some summer programs as well. But part of the Spring Rec Life guide will feature the new Brambleton Center Art Studio that received somewhat of a facelift and some renovations, which is really cool to see. So we have our potter's wheels, a new kiln that was delivered and installed, and then we have some other new supplies for some hands-on art activities, including pottery. So we're looking forward to getting back into the swing of things in that space at Brambleton. Actually, the winter programs are already sold out for beginners pottery for adults and kids, but we have some coming up in April and May that you'll see in the Spring Rec Life. And then we also have a really cool program. It's called Pie Day Bakeware Workshop on Pie Day. So on March 14th, 3-1-4,
Yes.
We'll be having a day where you can make your own pie dish, so like your own bakeware pie dish, and then we'll actually be serving pie afterwards. So, kind of a fun on the play of words with pie and Pie Day. So that's a program that we're looking forward to coming up on Thursday, March 14th. So, it's one of those things where we're looking to get back into that new programming space or renovate a programming space. And stay tuned for some more information about an Artful Afternoon, which is coming up on Wednesday, February 21st, where we'll kind of do the new art studio reveal.
Okay, wow. Lots of fun. Lots of fun in store throughout not only February, but plenty on the horizon for March and the springtime as well. All right, well, is there anything else that we should touch on?
I think that covers everything.
Okay.
Of course, as we're looking forward to spring, we have Treetop Quest, which is coming back in the spring. We'll have more information about that coming up in February and March for folks to register for the season. And then T-Rex Trail will make its return to Explore Park. So stay tuned for the next episode or two where we'll be having some more information about that.
That's exciting.
It is. There's always something to look forward to.
It's a roaring adventure, as I like to say.
Well, thank you both so much for being here and for all you all do to add extra fun into our community and region.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Like we said in this episode, love is in the air, maybe or maybe not, but fun is definitely in the air and there's plenty to be had. Thank you to our Board of Supervisors, Chair and Vice Chair, Mr. North and Miss Hooker, as well as to our Parks, Recreation, and Tourism staff for sharing all that's going on in our community and all that we have to look forward to. Thank you for listening.